All right, so everybody's heard it by now, I'm pretty sure. What happened over the weekend? Another typical crash, another typical dumpster fire, another typical terrorist act. Portland's mayor, complicit. And it looks like there's some interesting developments that came out of this, finally. Some people have had enough. There's been calls to hunt these people down, retaliate, if you will. And there's been some interesting conversations around this. The most interesting conversations, I think, just happened not too long ago, something I just barely read, in fact, that there are some lawyers that are now thinking of taking a full civil suit to sue all members of Antifa for property damage, assault, and otherwise if they're not incarcerated for assault and attempted murder in some cases when they're using pipes and shit on people. There's a thought to sue the mayor for allowing this behavior to continue, this lawless rampage of fascism. It's amazing to me that they claim to be anti-fascist, yet behave in a fascist nature, mind you. What's amazing to me is they're thinking that fascism only is the right wing, that it's only those that are pro-borders or nationalists or non-identitarians. They seem to think white is synonymous with racism. It is annoying as fuck, to be honest, but that's what they think. And it's just no surprise to me at this point. But the interesting things that I saw, there's now a lawyer in Portland that is going to sue the living shit out of every Antifa fascist member and the mayor and possibly the police force for allowing this behavior to continue unchecked. The law enforcement of Portland does not have to obey the mayor's orders when lawlessness is being carried out. They should be arresting these sons of bitches and throwing every last one of them in jail for criminal mischief at very least. Terrorism at most. And in some cases, with the more overt assholes, attempted murder. I mean, they came there looking for a fight. It was fairly obvious. Concrete milkshakes. I mean, I told you in my last video when I was talking about the milkshakes bring all the bricks to the yard. Well, motherfucker, they put bricks in the goddamn milkshakes, essentially. If they allowed that to harden just a little bit, it's like throwing pebbles at people with enough mass of a liquid substance. It does not feel very good. Let's just put it that way. I have a little experience in that avenue. But that's not all. So we got that going on. We got the potential. Ooh, lightning. Hurrah. I got a storm coming my way. I need to make this quick. We got the potential of a lawsuit. We got Andy looks like he's been released. So it probably wasn't a brain hemorrhage. It was probably just cuts and bruises. Assuming that they did a X-ray or CT scan to make sure that he indeed wasn't cut up as bad as he was, that he didn't have a brain hemorrhage or concussion or contusions. There was a video of him being questioned by what sounded like EMTs that wanted to make sure he was okay. They were asking him important questions. You know where you are, who you are, you know what's going on right now. And he refused to answer some of it because he was so distraught. He did answer some, but not others. The reason why they were asking him that is to make sure that he was actually coherent and not in shock, which is what they're supposed to do. But had they done their jobs in the first place, none of it would have ever happened. They didn't separate these groups. They allowed them to clash. So an important thing, or two. Antifa are fascists. They are not anti-fascists. They are fascists. They act and behave in the same manner. The only difference in this case is they're not nationalists. They're globalists, if you will. They're not pro-government. They're exactly the opposite. The fascists of Mussolini's time were pro-government, and they would fight in every earnest method that they could to make sure that the government had power and stayed in power, and Mussolini just let them do what they wanted. Similar to the mayor of Portland, just let him do what he wants, and their black shirts will carry out his will, because why? Social justice, that's why. It's not justice. It's social justice, which is actually an oxymoron. You don't get justice through mob rule. There is no social aspect of justice. Justice is blind and it's individual. It is never social. That's amazing to me that people think that those two words go together and it's a compliment and not an insult. Social justice being an oxymoron, that is. I think the biggest part you can take out of this is that it won't stop until somebody stops them. They will continue until abated. And the more you attack and oppress them, the more emboldened they become. They now think they're martyrs in some cases. And I don't see an end to this ideological bullshit. It's been propagated through government, through teachers, through education, through our civil society. I mean, we had people on the Democratic debate that have openly supported Antifa on the panels. In fact, they talked like Antifa members, a couple of them, which I'll do a video later on the Democratic debate, reaction video to the reactions of people, because I watched both conservative and liberal sides, and I went, wow, I can see a clear thread of who likes who and who hates who. It was really amazing. But I digress. I think it's important to note that this will continue to escalate, but it'll only escalate in places that Antifa feels safe enough to exert their power. That's where they'll continue to go. For example, the last time Antifa tried to do anything in Texas, one of their members took a swing. The person they swung at shot them. That was the end of Antifa in Texas. I have not heard of a single Antifa thing happening in Texas since then. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I think this is going to continue to escalate, and it won't stop until somebody gets hurt, seriously hurt. So let's hope it doesn't come to that. See you next time.
Don't tell anybody about it. People might not like your idea.